Welcome to Top 30. I'm Kristen Smith.
And I'm Richard Bacon, and here are your top 30 stories in 30 minutes. More Americans are taking out loans than ever. The credit bureau, TransUnion, said there were 17.5 million loans in the third quarter, up from 12.5 million from the same point in 2012. Experts say some of those loans are a mistake. The most popular reason is debt consolidation. Using one loan to pay off multiple credit card balances can save consumers money on interest. Another popular reason is to fund home renovations. Analysts say making improvements to a home can add value to it, but others take out loans for things they just don't need. A survey by the personal finance site Finder found that 46% of borrowers who regretted taking out a loan did so to pay for shopping. More than 17% did so for vacations. Taking out personal loans is expected to become even more popular as Americans owe more than $1 trillion in credit card debt. Not each, collectively.
If you're one of the people dealing with the flu this year, you're not alone. The latest report from the CDC shows every state except for Hawaii is experiencing a widespread outbreak of the virus. CDC officials say this is the first time the entire continental U.S. has been at the same level at the same time, and that the flu season may be peaking now. So with the bug going around, you need to be extra careful to avoid getting germs. Here are some everyday things you should not touch, which may help keep you from getting sick. Salt and pepper shakers at restaurants. They're touched by dozens of people and never washed. Working out can help keep your immune system healthy, but germs can live on an exercise machine even after it's cleaned. At work, don't use the communal coffee station or water cooler, and work only on your own computer. And of course, travel is a big way germs get spread. Try not to directly touch the airplane tray table, subway turnstile, or bus station ticket machine. Of course, it's impossible to eliminate touching everything, so experts say to keep a bottle of hand sanitizer handy and use it frequently. A Wells Fargo glitch on Wednesday caused the bank to double charge transactions for a large number of customers enrolled in their auto bill pay. The financial institution says they are currently working to correct it, but you might want to double check that you didn't get double charged. And Katie Couric will co-host the Winter Olympics opening ceremony in South Korea for NBC with sports broadcaster Mike Tirico. Katie said it really is a crash course in history when you do something like this, to really be able to dive into the history of South Korea. Now, check out this incredible video of a speedboat barreling towards these unsuspecting fishermen. They're forced to dive from the boat just seconds before the insane crash. A lawsuit has been filed claiming the driver of the boat was distracted by his cell phone. I'm just happy everyone made it out alive.
Let's go to the New York Stock Exchange for our Fox Business Minute with your friend and mine, Nicole Pedalides. Nicole, I am hearing that YouTube is teaming up with an NBA star.
That's right, Richard. YouTube is teaming up with NBA All-Star Kevin Durant and his startup to create more sports-related content for the site. Other tech companies are also tapping into broadcasting sports, such as Amazon streaming Thursday night NFL games and Twitter airing pro sports like baseball and soccer. Break me off a piece of that pink Kit Kat bar. Nestle is launching a new Kit Kat made of ruby chocolate. The new flavor will be available in Japan, South Korea, and online. Here's a fun fact. Japan now has over 300 different Kit Kat flavors, including wasabi, cherry blossom, and even Kit Kat sushi. Do you shop at Whole Foods? You may have noticed certain aisles are empty. Well, now employees are facing a crisis of food shortages due to a buying system called Order to Shelf that Whole Foods implemented across its stores early last year.
Nicole, how exactly is this system affecting Whole Foods?
OTS is a system meant to streamline and track products in the store, but in case of Whole Foods, that has led to store-wide stocking issues. Employees hope that Amazon, which owns Whole Foods, will restock those shelves. More Top 30 when we return.
An Indiana couple getting ready for their wedding received a mysterious box just days before their ceremony. Chuck Neese and Mary Hall weren't sure what it was or even who it was from, but it had a note saying, "Please open before wedding day." When they opened it, they found a letter inside revealing the mystery. The gift was from the Felker family, who lived hundreds of miles away in Illinois. Their late parents were married 62 years and had the same first names as the Indiana couple, Chuck and Mary. The letter explained explained how the Felkers did an internet search to find a couple sharing their parents' names and then found their address. At the bottom of the letter was a picture of the Felkers' parents on their wedding day, and the box included a very sentimental gift. The Felkers sent 2 champagne glasses used in their parents' ceremony, which were engraved with, "Let me dance with you forever, Mary and Chuck." The engaged couple said they got chills at the gesture and planned to use the glasses on their wedding day. And it made them so happy, they planned to pay it forward and eventually send the glasses to another couple named Chuck and Mary. Eggs pretty much all look the same, which makes it impossible to know which are the best. You can choose from options like farm fresh, free range, white, jumbo, brown, organic, vegetarian fed, but what do all these labels mean? Bon Appetit recommends you avoid terms like hormone-free, antibiotic-free, natural, and fertile. They don't necessarily benefit the egg in any way. Pastured eggs are optimal because they're from chickens raised outdoors on steady diets of seeds and insects. Free-range and cage-free eggs are also acceptable because it means the chickens were provided with access to the outdoors. Additionally, buy free-range or cage-free organic eggs with a USDA grade of A or AA, stamped with the certified humane or animal welfare approved seal. So there's a lot of options, but it's important to know what you're buying.
Nat Geo is airing a new series that showcases the daily life of our military members. The cameras are rolling on everything from battles on the front line to candid conversations between military leaders and our troops. Here is a preview of one of those conversations in this week's Nat Geo Minute.
We're going to continue to build our military so we have that competitive advantage in every domain, on the ground, in the air, in the maritime. So I'm going to stop there. And if you got any questions about anything, if you want to ask me, go ahead.
How do things look for soldiers on like a Syrian deployment front?
Well, I will tell you, and we had this discussion today, Syria is a mess. So the potential for you to deploy, is that what you're asking? Well, judging by the patch on your left shoulder, I would say that your chances are a lot higher than most.
You can watch Chain of Command on Monday at 9, 8 Central on Nat Geo.
There are some careers where women are less likely to have kids. The job website Zippia studied data for working women and found the industries with the fewest moms over 45. The military came in first. Other industries included agriculture, legal, and science and engineering. The title with the fewest mothers was optometrist, where more than 47% of female workers don't have kids. Rounding out the top 5 were chemical engineers, dentists, economists, and physical scientists. Pretty much all of the jobs with the least moms were STEM fields, meaning science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Researchers think the reason female STEM workers have kids less has to do with paid parental leave, or the lack of it. According to the Health Affairs Journal, only about 14% of private sector employers offer paid leave. This study is proof that having it all is even harder than we thought. Richard, you're talking about a star athlete now making good on his word?
Kristen, you are right. Colin Kaepernick is making good on his pledge to donate a total of $1 million to charity. The former quarterback was the first NFL player to kneel during the national anthem in 2016 when he was playing for the 49ers. He says it was to protest the unfair treatment of minorities in this country. So far, he's donated $900,000 to 31 organizations. This week, he announced he'll be giving $10,000 to 10 more charities and reveal one of them each day. And he's letting some of his friends choose the charity. First up, the reigning NBA Finals MVP, Kevin Durant.
KD chose D-Bug, a Bay Area organization that advocates for criminal justice reform and police accountability. On top of that, KD said he would match my $10K donation for a total of $20,000 going to D-Bug.
Kaepernick sued the NFL, accusing team owners of colluding to keep him out of the league. The Trump administration will block Haitians from applying for work visas. The Department of Homeland Security said it has taken Haiti off a list of countries that are eligible for H-2A and H-2B work permits. The temporary visas are given to seasonal workers in agriculture and other industries. The agency said it removed Haiti because of high levels of fraud and abuse, as well as a high rate of overstaying the terms of those visas. But the move follows a White House decision to end temporary protected status for about 60,000 Haitians living in the US after a deadly earthquake in their home country that killed more than 200,000 people. It comes days after President Trump reportedly called the country an S-hole. Trump has denied using that word, despite friend and fellow Republican Senator Lindsey Graham confirming it to others. Some immigration experts say the visas were one of the few ways for Haitians to come to the US legally. Ending the program could increase illegal immigration.
In today's hometown stories from Fox 29 Philadelphia, when Josh Potter saw a tweet of 99-year-old Vikings fan Millie Wall go viral, he tweeted back, "Looks like we got a battle of the centenarians." You see, Josh's grandfather, Phil Basser, is also a 99-year-old Vikings fan. Now, Philadelphia Phil is gaining some notoriety of his own.
I tweeted out our favorite picture of him in his Wentz jersey. He's so cute. How do you not retweet it?
Phil's family will be taking him to Sunday's NFC Championship game as an early 100th birthday present. Our next story from Fox 5 New York. Half Hollow Hills School District on Long Island has added a fun twist to their physical education classes, outdoor sports. In this class, each day can bring a new adventure.
We have mountain biking, archery, orienteering. We have a kayaking unit. We have a fly fishing unit.
The students are then graded on skill, sportsmanship, and participation. In addition to being fun, the hope is the kids are learning sports they can continue well after graduation. Our final story from Fox 2 Detroit. In lieu of Christmas gifts, Consuelo Brewer asked her friends and family for one thing: coats for her students. A teacher at Detroit Public Schools' Drew Transition Center, she noticed many of her students didn't have proper clothing for the cold winter months. Brewer raised over $17,000 and was able to hand out 150 winter coats, gloves, and hats. An inspired act of kindness her students will surely never forget. Women are biologically stronger than men and more likely to survive, and those are facts. According to research out of the University of Southern Denmark, death rates and death records found that in nearly every case, women lived years longer than their male counterparts. Major historical events like famine, slavery, and epidemics were analyzed, and the study concluded that women have a resilience and a survival advantage that is biologically inherent. The study said, even though the crises reduced the female survival advantage in life expectancy, women still survived better than men. In all populations, they had lower mortality across almost all ages, and with the exception of one slave population, they lived longer on average than men. Well, I wasn't gonna say it, and now I don't have to, because the proof is in the history. A sanctuary for wild Mustangs gives abused and neglected horses a second chance at life. Skydog Ranch is a nonprofit that rescues Mustangs from kill pens, where they're often sold at auction for their meat. Founder Claire Staples Reed has always had an affinity for horses, but it took rescuing her first horse to become aware of the dire straits the American Mustang is in. There used to be over 2 million wild Mustangs in the United States, but they are increasingly being pushed off land in favor of cattle and sheep. Now, Staples Reed estimates there are fewer than 35,000. But at Skydog Ranch, these beautiful creatures are rehabilitated and given the space to roam free again. And they're immediately greeted by a new friend, Barkley the dog, who makes the horses feel welcome. Now, Staples Reed has 53 Mustangs in her care. Clearly, nothing can drag her away from these wild horses.
Ontario is hoping to motivate companies and businesses to put in electric vehicle charging stations by offering up to 80% of the installation cost. There are currently about 1,300 public charging stations in the province, but that includes just 2/3 of the 500 stations promised under the $20 million Electric Vehicle Chargers Ontario program. The new initiative is part of Canada's Climate Change Action Programme, and commercial building owners could receive up to $7,500 for every level 2 charging station installed. These stations take between 4 and 8 hours to fully charge an electric vehicle. The idea is that if employees have charging stations available to them, they'll be more likely to use electric vehicles, resulting in a greener commute.
We're midway through the month, and I'm sure you're all still very excited about your New Year's resolutions. And hopefully, winter isn't getting you down. According to the American Academy of Family Physicians, those nasty winter blues affect up to 20% of the population. Instead of letting them take over, here are 4 simple things you can do to keep your mood elevated and your depression down. 1. Stay social. Research consistently shows that social interaction is key to human health. 2. Since the gloomy weather may keep you indoors more than usual, think about taking a vitamin D supplement so you're still getting that serotonin release. 3. Surround yourself with color. Bright reds, greens, and blues can trigger alertness, and there's an actual neurological change when you see those colors. So keeping fresh, colorful flowers in the house, or maybe wearing a more colorful wardrobe, can help lift your mood. And finally, break a sweat. Exercise has been proven to fight depression and causes the brain to release all those feel-good hormones. So it takes some effort, but it's possible to fight those winter blues, and it's worth it.
We have apps for almost everything these days, but in China, they've taken using their smartphones to a whole new level. 2 super apps are taking over there and could soon be heading to the United States of America. Jason Bellini went to China and has more in this week's Wall Street Journal Moving Upstream report.
We just got back from China, and one of the first things we noticed when we got there was people paying for just about everything using their phones. Turns out China's starting to become a cash-free, wallet-free society. In this week's episode of Moving Upstream, we introduced you to Naomi Wu. She's a tech maven in Shenzhen, China, and she showed us all the things that are possible now using mobile payment in China. Yes, I do a lot of these things already using apps on my phone in the US, but there's some significant differences. In China, there are 2 super apps by 2 of China's largest tech companies that are becoming platforms for innovations that we may see here soon. Richard?
Thank you, Jason. For more, check out the entire episode at wsj.com/upstream.
This week, Ford unveiled a new limited edition Mustang named for the car used in the movie Bullitt. It was parked next to the real thing, the 1968 car driven by Steve McQueen in the film. It was the first time most people had seen the car in decades. Bullitt is famous for a 10-minute car chase through San Francisco, featuring the green Mustang driving at high speeds and then crashing for real. Shortly after filming, it vanished. Car fans have been speculating on the Mustang's whereabouts for decades. It turned out to be a family secret stored in a garage. Owner Sean Kiernan's dad bought it from an ad in a car magazine. It hadn't run since 1980. He had paid $6,000. Well, now it's worth quite a bit more. One classic car insurance company thinks it could be worth over $4 million. But like his dad, Sean loves the car, so it's not for sale.
Cape Town, South Africa is facing a frightening reality. In 90 days, it will run out of water. The drought-stricken region was slated to run out of water on April 29th, also known as Day Zero. But according to Time magazine, only 54% of Cape Town residents are staying within the target number for water usage, which led Cape Town Mayor Patricia de Lille to move the day to April the 22nd. Cape Town won't actually run out of water, though. The move is precautionary because once dam levels drop to 10%, the water becomes unusable thanks to debris and silt. So water rationing is being implemented to prevent this. However, when Day Zero arrives on April the 22nd, residents will need to hit up municipal water points where each person can collect their daily allocation of 6.6 gallons of water. Regardless, a Mad Max level of panic hasn't hit the region. At least not yet.
Kale, the leafy green best known for feeding food-obsessed millennials, might have some competition for being the it veggie. According to the Wall Street Journal, the latest health produce craze is actually broccoli rabe. The bitter root vegetable, also known as broccolini and rapini, has kicked off a marketing campaign to edge out kale as the produce industry's latest superfood. If you're new to broccolini, don't fret, it's very easy to cook. According to Ina Garten, blanch the veggie in boiling water for 2 minutes, give it an ice bath so it doesn't overcook, and then drain the water. Melt butter in a large pan, stir in garlic and lemon zest, add the broccoli rabe to the garlic mixture, and then cook for 2 more minutes. Add a squeeze of lemon juice, then salt and pepper. Happy cooking. Hey Richard, what's coming up on our next show?
Kristen, we are talking about emergency expenses. Many Americans don't have enough money for unexpected bills, but there is a way to prepare. Dog lovers hate shedding. Now a new product claims to put a stop to pet hair. And this boy isn't just spending time with his sister, he's getting therapy through music. It's all coming up on the next Top 30.